Hello everyone, this is me Muhammad from Arabic with Barazy, and in this new episode we're going to learn the pronunciation of some new Arabic letters. In this episode I'll try to make you familiar with صاد, ضاد, طاء and الظاء. So let's start. Hello again. Before we start speaking about the main subject of this new episode, let me just remind you about the purpose of making pronunciation videos. As everyone knows that the first impression is the most important impression you could take about anyone. And this impression comes from the way of wearing your clothes, hairstyle, body language, way of speaking, and so on. And trust me, the same thing happens when someone speaks. Because when someone speaks in front of you, you take care more about his accent, his intonation, his pronunciation, more than his grammar, his idioms, and so on. So through these videos, I'll try to improve your pronunciation to sound more like native speakers. And I hope that you get the benefit of these videos, and I hope also that I do it correctly. Let's start the main subject. So as a beginning, let's start with the letter صاد. صاد, and its sound is s, s. Let me tell you that some people name this sound as the sound of whistling because when you pronounce it, it looks like you are whistling. And because this letter is not existed in English, so you could recognize its articulation through this figure beside me. And now let me give you some tips to help you in producing this sound. First, produce the sound of S, the English one. S, s. Then, try to draw your mandibular back, slowly. While do this, you will notice that a simple and minor S starts generating. And by practicing, you will make it perfect. The next letter in this episode is the letter ضاد. ضاد. And its sound is D. D. And this letter is one of the most notable, important and unique sounds or letters in Arabic alphabet because it's the only language which has this letter. So one of the most well-known names of Arabic is the language of ضاد. And I think you heard or read this name before. But how to produce this sound? It seems like the sound of D in English, like in dog, is the best approximate to the sound of ضاد in Arabic, D. Although the articulation of each one and the way of producing each one is so different, but as I told you, it's the best approximate to it. In those figures, you could notice the differences between the sound of D and the sound of ضاد, and how to produce each one of them. And I know that the pronunciation of ضاد looks complicated a little bit for you, but when there is a will, there is a way. D, D, dog. ضاد, D, ضحك. D, 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 D. The next letter in this episode is the letter طاء. طاء. And its sound is T. T. And I know this letter doesn't exist in English, but the closest sound to it is the emphatic T. And now, as usual, I'll give you tips to produce the sound of طاء. First, produce the sound of T, the English one. T. T. Then, keep your teeth at the same position, but only change your lip position as if you want to produce the sound of O. O. So, keep your teeth at the same position, but only change your lip position to the position of O. And you will notice that a minor and simple ta will be produced. And by practicing, you will know the exact articulation of the letter ta, and you'll master it. And the last letter in this episode is the letter الظاء. الظاء. And its sound is th. And as the previous sounds, this sound also doesn't exist in English. And the closest sound to it is an emphatic th, as in mother. And now I'll give you some quick tips to produce the sound of the. First, produce the sound of th, as in mother. Then keep your teeth and tongue at the same position. The only changes you have to do is to curl the tip of your tongue a little bit, and also to change your lip position to the position of oo. Notice that I kept my teeth and tongue at the same position of th. The only changes that I made is I curled the tip of my tongue a little bit, and I changed the position of my lips to the position of oo. And altogether it would be like and by practicing, you will do it well. This was everything for today. I hope that your tongue is not cramped, and when you finish this episode, try to massage it a little bit to make it relaxed. In the next episode, I'll talk about the common error of producing those sounds. So stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel. See you soon, goodbye. إلى اللقاء.